Hello, everyone, and welcome to Three Soup Sunday. Thanks for joining us this Sunday afternoon. We are the Mortel High Hopes for Haiti Foundation. I'm Rachel Bowles, the Director of Operations, and we are so glad to have you with us today. Also joining us for today, you have Dr. Rod Mortel and his wife, Cecile. We have our chef, Mariela Amato, and Denise Mortel Mitchell, our Vice President, who you'll hear from a bit later. You'll also see some of our chat helpers, Pat, Martha, Cindy, and Laura. They'll all be helping to monitor the chat. So if you have any questions throughout the event, keep an eye out and they can help answer some of them. Just a few housekeeping items to go over. You should have received the recipes for today's soups in your email. If not, we'll also put them in the chat today. And if for some reason by the end of the event you don't get them, send me an email and we can make sure you do get them. We are recording this event, so if you miss anything or you want to share with your friends, you'll be able to rewatch it once the event is over, and we'll send that out to you as well. Feel free to interact with us in the event today through the chat feature. We'll also have a couple polls that'll keep you on your toes, hopefully get some interaction between everybody on our Zoom meeting. But if you have any questions or anything about Haiti or the soups, the recipes, you can put them in the chat today too, and we'll do our best to answer them. Everyone who registered for today's event, which was over 100 people, was entered into our registration raffle for an Amazon gift card. And the winner of that raffle is Julia Legendre. I don't know if she's here yet or if she's able to join us, but Julia, if you're here, we'll be in touch via email to get you your registration raffle winnings, your Amazon gift card. If you are the 100 other people who didn't win the registration raffle, don't worry, we're going to do another bonus raffle at the end of the event today. So stick around till after our third soup recipe and we'll announce another bonus raffle winner. Our plan for today's Zoom event will be to show you the 3 amazing soups, but to also really show you about all that the Mortel High Hopes for Haiti Foundation does in Haiti. So throughout the event, if you feel so moved, we will be offering opportunities to donate and support the programs that truly empower the poor in Haiti. Now, some Zoom tips in case you haven't gotten enough practice over the last 2 years of Zooming. We thank you in advance for staying on mute during this event unless invited to unmute. This will help everyone be able to hear the presenters and our chefs. This is the icon where you can find the chat feature. Make sure you set your chat to say to everyone, so to make sure that our team can see your questions and comments. If you see or hear something you like, feel free to check out the reactions. They're the little things that look like emojis on the bottom toolbar. And then lastly, for Zoom tips and maybe most helpful, on the top right corner of your Zoom screen, you have view options, which give you speaker or gallery view. You can play with this on your end, but during the cooking demonstrations, you'll likely prefer speaker view, which highlights the main speaker as opposed to gallery view, which is when you can see all the little boxes of everybody's squares on the screen. Now, just for fun, I mentioned we were going to do some polls. So just for fun, we're going to get started with our first poll. This number 90, a poll should be popping up on your screen. What do you think this number signifies? You should get some poll answers going here. So what do you think this number 90 signifies? And Laura,
yeah, it's interesting, Rachel. We're getting a lot of different responses. So
see, I'm not seeing any of the polls, Laura, so I'm going to need you to help me out here. Okay. So what do we have?
Well, I'm going to wait and see if we get a few more to participate. We're up to about 61% participating. So I'm going to give you all a few more seconds here to chime in. And what do you think that 90 signifies?
What is that 90 number? Get you guys thinking for this first part of our Zoom here.
All right, just a few more coming in. Okay, I'm going to end the poll and we'll see what the responses are. The majority of people said the number of new students who join our preschool.
Well, that is the correct answer. Every year we have 90 new preschoolers join our school. So good job, everyone. We thought we were going to get some tricks on you guys with that one, but nobody thought it was the rainy days, huh? I guess we don't count those.
We had a few. A few who said the number of years. HHH was launched. We wish it was 90 years.
Yeah,
You said
we're working
the
our way
number
there.
of rainy days. And then we did have about 20% who said the number of meals fed. So we had a range, but the majority said the last one.
Great.
The number
Good job.
of preschoolers.
Good work, everyone. And thank you, Laura, for being our poll guru for today. So we'll do a couple more of those polls later in the event too, to try to keep you on your toes and keep everybody paying attention to see what you guys come up with. Today's event is part of the finale of our anniversary year. We celebrated 20 years of our schools in Haiti. So not quite 90 yet, but we'll get there. When we opened our first school in 2001, our 65 kindergartners arrived to be fed and nourished daily. But in contrast, outside of the school walls, 53% of the population was hungry, half the population was illiterate, and 7 out of 100 children died in infancy. Each year since 2001, we added a grade level to the school and eventually opened our secondary school, which just celebrated 10 years, and our preschool, which just celebrated 5 years this past year. Over the past 20 years, more than 15,000 students have been fed daily and offered a safe place to receive a quality education and care that's hard to come by in the desperate context of life in Haiti. Hundreds of adults have been employed to help support their own families and communities. Now, through some of our graduates, we're getting the chance to see our mission in action after these 20 years. So here's some of our graduates. One of them in the top left, Josue. He's in his internship year of his medical studies. Jenny in the middle is finishing her studies in administration. Adeline is a teacher in our preschool, actually. Acerno is working in graphic design and photography for another Haiti-based organization. Johnson is studying computer science and economics in the US, and he actually started sponsoring a student in our preschool last year. All of these students started their journey by walking into our school courtyard to be fed and educated. And they have grown into a community of young adults who seek to serve their neighbors and to improve Haiti by whatever means available to them. As we close out our anniversary year and celebrate the sturdy foundation that has been built over these past 20 years, we're grateful for the thousands of students who have gone through our schools, for the hundreds of adults who have taught them, for the countless donors, like many of you, who have made it all possible, and for the millions of meals that have nourished these children's bodies since 2001. With all those meals being fed to children in Haiti, let's turn now to learn how to make one for ourselves. So it's time for our first soup.
Hi everyone, thank you for joining us today. I'm Cecile Mortel, and we are super excited to be back in the personal kitchen of Mariella Amato, chef and owner of Mangia Mangia Italian Grill here in Hershey. We're equally excited to have Dr. Mortel with us today. He's the founder of the Mortel High Hopes for Haiti Foundation. And this will kick off the first part of our grand finale anniversary celebration. Mariella has been a longtime supporter of the foundation and would like to share with you a few thoughts about her experiences with our organization. After that, the two of them will get started and teach us how to make 3 delicious soups. The first will be chicken tortellini, followed by soup, jumeau, and lastly, ribalita, zuppa. And so without further ado, let me introduce Mariela Amato.
Thank you. Thank you, Cecile. Thank you, everyone. Dr. Martel, Cecile, Rachel, Denise, we all I'm very honored and happy that you guys request me again to be part of this. I love it. Honestly, it's been 4 years. Yeah, I sponsor Tahiba. She's my little girl. She's in first grade. Love it. For less than $1 a day to support a child, it's amazing. Like, I feel so good that I know that she's in first grade and she got an education. She's eating well, and again, it doesn't really needs a lot, less than $1, and we can help many other kids. So today, we're gonna have fun. You're gonna learn to make it's gonna be the pollo Embrodo, chicken with tortellini soup, and ribolita, it's bean soup, vegetarian soup. With this weather, it's a warm, soup that you will enjoy with family and friends. Thank you. Let's start. Dr. Martel, do you want to say your soup?
Yes, soup jambon from Haiti. I'll talk to you about it a little later, but in the meantime, let us go to Mariela so we can start to show you how to make the first soup.
Thank you, Dr. Martel. All right, so my first soup that I want to introduce to you is pollo Embrodo Con Tortellini, which is a chicken soup with tortellini. It's amazing. It takes about 2 hours overall. So we see, let me just show you the ingredients, which you already know the ingredients. 1 chicken, the whole chicken, a cup carrots, onions, and celery, 2 tablespoons plum tomato, diced plum tomato. Of course, we're gonna need parsley that you can just put it in.
Is that the regular parsley or
Italian parsley.
Italian parsley.
Yeah, it's a little bit more flavor into it, like the kind of it gives to the soup. It's more like what I prefer, but you can use the other one too. That's another one. And the tortellini, you can whatever tortellini you prefer. Cheese tortellini, chicken tortellini. It's your preference. Doesn't matter. So what are we gonna do? We're gonna need a pot soup again. Get I will just spend an extra $1. It'll be all about the quality. That's how you get the best a soup or whatever you're cooking. So I would suggest grass-fed chicken, whole chicken, open, wash it, rinse it out, pretty much. 8 quarts water, add the whole chicken inside, and simple as that. Turn it on high, wait until the first minute when it boils. You will see there is a white scum on top. You just remove that, and right after that, you can add all your ingredients: carrots, onions, celery, parsley, and 2 tablespoons tomato, salt, a little bit, a few flakes red peppers. Now, it's an optional. I choose, this is you have to dice all the veggies. I choose to just do 1 carrot, I peeled and I cut in half. 2 stalks celery, cut in half and just add in there. 1 onions, just cut in half and add to your water. So what I like to have, it's once the chicken is cooked, I like to remove the vegetables, blend it in, and then add it to the clear broth. It's gonna be I don't know, creamier. I like that better. But everything is an option. You can do your own way. This is the original way. And but to me, my mom told me how to do it. We love it to have a little bit more creamier. So this is the, that's once you add all the veggie, will boil again, of course. As soon as boiled, turn it down to medium to low. Not simmer, medium to low. let it cook for an hour and a half, pretty much. And let me show you. We just like, I mean, we can wait an hour and a half here, or I have already done this, what it looks like once it's done.
Mariella, do you simmer it for an hour and a half, or is it medium boil?
Medium to low.
Medium to
You
low.
see just a little bit bubbles. And but see, I prefer when I say like I prefer like to have chunk vegetables. That's what I mean. It's like see celery, carrots. I have everything like just onions, parsley, and now comes the beauty, like the work that I do. It's like I'm gonna take all the vegetables and the chicken out. Pretty much strain the juice, so you're gonna have a clear juice, and you want to shred the chicken, blend the veggie, and then add everything back to the soup. And of course, then we will cook tortellini, and then it's gonna be amazing. Thank you.
Why do you use a whole chicken?
Because the chicken has a skin, bones, and a little fat. Don't forget, I know fat is not good for you, but honestly, chicken soup, that's why it's so good for you when you're, like you have a little cold or it's cold outside. That's something that we need, it's good for you. So the whole thing, like, it makes amazing soup, and your body really will love it to have it.
And it enhances the flavor?
Yes, adds the flavor too, yes, of course. And it is, that's what makes the soup. You don't want to use just the white part, like the breast. The whole thing is the best. And you see, it's like once it's cooked, it's pretty much coming apart. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna clean up the skin. We're gonna clean up, remove the bones and just flake the meat, and it's gonna be amazing. You will see it. Okay, so chicken is cooked. As you see, it's everything like done. The water reduced, and it's nice goldish liquid broth there. So let's remove the chicken. It smells so good, by the way. Okay, you want to use like a flat plate so it gets a little cold. And while you remove the chicken, pick up your veggie. Just remove it like on the side, because we will blend the onions, carrots, and celery, and parsley, of course. So as you see, like I take the chunk. That's one thing that I love to use, a chunk. Cut the veggie in the big pieces so that way it's easy to remove. That will give amazing flavor to the broth. Not clear, but it's like condensed broth that you have left there. So now what do we want to do? You can either use any type of blender and put your veggie in a blender, ready to blend. And of course I see some onions. They're gonna give amazing flavor to that. Another piece of carrots here and there. You always want to check. That's it. Watch for the bones. Make sure you just like pick up only the veggie. And I would just put like a little bit of broth in there to blend. It will come much easier to blend and creamier. And that's it. Just stir it up and get blend it. And once it's blended, add to your soup. Let's strain the chicken. And then we can combine everything together.
Mariella, with this, do you ever have to add more water to the remaining broth that's in the soup? From the 8 quarts. You started with 8 quarts, right?
Usually I don't. Because you will cook the tortellini in normal water,
Okay.
like you put like 3 quarts water to cook your tortellini. I don't usually, but if the broth reduce a lot, becomes a little bit more concentrate. So if you can add like I would say maybe 3 cups of water to it. It would not lose the flavor. But usually this is enough for like 8 people.
Okay. And then you use a little bit of the broth to blend the vegetables.
Yes. So once we blend the veggie, we will add to the soup, to the broth. And as you see the skin, you don't want to have the skin. So I want to remove the skin. And beautiful, look how nice.
Oh, it comes off so
amazing.
easily,
Yes,
the skin.
yes. Mhm. And this is the
Fantastic.
beauty. That's the best part. You wanna just shred some. It's whatever you prefer. You can leave a chunk. You can shred it. You can dice it. Whatever you.
What do you like to do?
Shred it?
I see. Okay.
It gets a blast flavor.
So you like it shredded and you like to blend the vegetables.
Yes. And again, you can just dice them. You don't have to blend anything. Just like let it cook. Remove the chicken. If you dice your veggie, you don't have to do this extra work like to blend it in. Just remove the chicken and shred it and put it back in, and then cook the tortellini.
And I think the water's boiling, Mariella.
Oh, okay. All right. Cecile's water boil. Let's put the tortellini in. Remember, tortellini doesn't take that long to cook. As soon as they come back up, that means they cooked already. And a tablespoon, I use a kosher salt, but you can use any your favorite salt.
Well, what is kosher salt?
It's thicker, it's not processed, and it's supposed to be better for you. So I don't like the fine salt. And this one is much used less, and it's
So you use less than you would if you use regular salt.
and it's better for you.
How about, do you ever have to put any oil in with the tortellini? No oil.
Just
Okay.
sea salt and done. That's it. See, they're already coming up. So just give it like about 2 minutes and we're done. It's not like cooking the pasta, normal pasta. But anyway, I'm done shredding the chicken. Look how cute it is. It's beautiful. Let's head to the broth. Okay, the whole thing right there. And you remember we put the vegetables, celery, onions, and carrots in a blender. Let me finish blending the veggies so we can add that to our soup. Sorry about the noise. Beautiful. Look at the color. It's amazing. So we can actually turn off the tortellini. It's perfect like that. And you see the color, it's amazing. So let's put the veggie in there. And I like to see there is a lot in the blender. So what I do, I use a couple scoops broth and just kind of clean it up. Like you don't want to waste anything here. This is the best flavor to your soup. Oh,
You're right, it does make it creamy.
yes. Seeing the colors,
Yes.
orange color. Smells very nice. Love it, loving it. Tortellini are done. Let me get the strainer. So you just want to like strain with, you can use anything. You can just strain and dump it in there. And your soup is gonna be ready in about like 2 minutes. Let the tortellini flavor use the broth.
The tortellini really makes it a meal, doesn't it?
Yes, yes. And honestly, some people prefer the noodle pasta, or you can use as an appetizer, just having no pasta, no noodles, and just chicken, because if you can see it's like the color is orange and the flavor has everything in there. It's like an harvest winter soup, pretty much. To top it off, you my favorite thing, it's like scallop and onions. I've diced them. So you just want to sprinkle a few of them in there.
Well, that gives it pretty color
Yes.
too. Wow.
Yes. And then, as you prefer, you can sprinkle, if you don't like scallions, parsley. And that's it. Your soup is ready. Enjoy.
I'm guessing you're all hungry by this point, because I know I am. I'd like to introduce you now at this point to the Mortel High Hopes for Haiti president and founder, and our resident Haitian chef for today, Dr. Rod Mortel.
Thank you, Rachel. Good afternoon, everyone. Rachel just shared with you some of our achievements during the past 20 years. And today I want to introduce you to the famous soup, the famous Haitian soup called soup jumeau. But before we get to that, let me tell you a little bit about the history of that soup and the impact, both national and international, of soup jumeau. Recently, Haiti has made the national and international news because of the many challenges the country has faced this past year, causing some of you to wonder and ask if and how our mission and our school are impacted. That is a very pertinent question, because indeed their president was assassinated 7 months ago. A deadly earthquake hit the southern part of Haiti shortly thereafter. Gang violence, insecurity, and kidnapping escalated, resulting in a scarcity of food and increased children's starvation. But despite these challenges, the Mortel HHH schools have remained operational, providing food and a safe place to learn for over 900 children, while also developing programs in expanding adult education. 2 years ago, we piloted an agricultural program to include not only the cultivation of Haitian staples, but also poultry and tilapia farming. This program has been so incredibly successful that steps are being taken to increase production, provide assistance to the feeding program, and possibly introduce this program into the high school curriculum. In addition, while we are celebrating our 20-year anniversary, the entire country celebrated recently the decision by UNESCO to add the traditional Haitian soup jumeau to the list of non-tangible cultural heritage. This is the first time the name of Haiti will appear under this category. That is partially because the soup jumeau has been passed on down from generations to generations. This soup is a meal, as I said in the beginning, with notable national and international historical significance. It is widely known that during the colonization of Haiti by the French, the Haitian slaves were not permitted to eat this soup, which was only reserved for the slave masters. So, when Haiti proclaimed its independence on January 1, 1804, you can imagine that soup jumeau was the meal that all Haitians ate that day. And it remained a tradition that soup jumeau is the meal that all Haitians consume every January 1. This soup is a symbol of liberation. It is a symbol of freedom. It is a symbol of anti-colonialism. So let's see how we make it. Let's start. Okay, the ingredients are simple. The meat, the vegetables, and the jumeau. The meat, we propose that you get the beef shank. There is a bone in it, and we like that one to have the bone. But if you cannot get the beef shank, then you can get any beef stew. And that meat should be cut in small pieces of about 1 inch each. And that the meat should be marinated. Okay, let's prepare together the marinade. We start with a 3 tablespoons of vinegar. Then we go with 2 tablespoons of lime juice. Then we add 1 teaspoonful of seasoned salt, 1 teaspoonful of garlic powder, another teaspoonful of onion powder. We put 1 teaspoonful of salt, half a teaspoonful of black pepper, and then 2 cloves. Now I need some help. I'm going to ask Mariela to help me to mix the marinade together, and then to make sure that every piece of the meat is bathed in the marinade. So whether you have to take a piece of meat, dip it in it and put it back, but every piece of the meat has to be bathed into the marinade, and the balance of the marinade pour over.
So is it okay to just drizzle on top and then
massage? You can do, but
it's good to massage.
No problem at all.
All right, so let me pour this. You want to get everything in there, right? All the spice,
Everything.
everything.
Yeah.
And then we can just like
Yeah,
mix it like that. Oh, I see the bone. That's the bones you were talking about.
That's the bone I'm talking about. I like the bone because the bone marrow is going to really give some really taste to the soup. That's wonderful. The marinade, the meat will be marinated for at least half hour. Haitian put it the night before sometime, but you have to wait at least half hour, leaving the marinated. So while they marinated for half hour, then we're going to prepare our vegetables. We have onion, celery, and
Carrots.
yeah, there are carrots. There are carrots there. Yeah, we have that. You can chop it yourself, or you can really use what they sell in the groceries. These are our vegetables. And as far as Jumeau is concerned, Jumeau is a vegetable that is grown only in the Caribbean countries. We don't find it here, and that's why we use butternut squash when we cannot find it. And when you find it, it can come usually like that, in chunks like that. If it's in chunks, then you're going to boil these chunks together and make a puree out of it by putting it in the blender. So now, and then we can put tomato, potatoes. That will be correct. Mariela is going to help me again. And then we have a couple of turnips that Mariela will chop.
So we want to dice
and
this
help
too?
it. Yes,
Right.
you know, whatever. And then whatever other vegetable that you feel like putting on your soup, you can go ahead and do it.
And
All of that is done within half hour that we're waiting for the thing to be marinated. Then we're going to add the vegetables.
okay, it's coming. And the butternut squash, Dr. Martel, you cooked with just vegetable stock, water, what do you?
Just water.
Just water, okay.
Do you cook that with the water that is cooking the meat? You needed to?
No, you don't do that because otherwise the amount of water in the meat will decrease. So you boil it just in regular water, and you come with something like this, which is what we are talking about, the puree. So now,
You ready for the veggie?
yeah, we just happened that nothing had been for half hour, and then we add all the vegetables now.
All right.
Yeah. Then we boil that for 15 minutes. We cover it.
Okay, the carrots.
These,
We're gonna add that vegetables, okay?
yeah.
Mariella, this is the same vegetables you
Yeah,
use
look,
for your other
see?
soup, right?
Everybody can make the same,
Yeah.
with the same ingredients, 3 different soups.
So now we cover it and then let it boil. So we added the vegetable to the meat that was being cooked in a mixture of 4 cups of vegetable broth and 4 cups of water.
How long did the meat cook in that?
The meat really cooking 45 minutes. That's why after a half hour, we add the vegetables, and 15 minutes later, then we're going to add the puree of jumeau.
And that's what it looks like, right?
That's exactly what
So
they
it's
look
very
like.
creamy.
Yeah, very creamy, very yellow. The yellower, the better, and the better it tastes. The meat and the vegetable have been boiling now and been cooking for the past 45 minutes, and it is a time to add the puree of the jumeau, the Caribbean pumpkin. And now there we go. Yeah. You need about 2 pounds of this puree to really give the color you want.
Nice color. Wow,
Well,
what a beauty.
so now we're going to take another 15 minutes to let it boil, and after boiling for 15 minutes, it's going to be simmered. In the meantime, we're going to cook a pasta of your choice. It can be rigatoni, it can be penne, but at your choice. But please, cook it al dente. I don't know how to do that, but Maria should do. So she's going to really cook the pasta al dente for us before we add it. And then the amount, about one cup. Yeah.
So we want to use again 3/4 of water, and then 1 tablespoon of salt,
Yeah.
and that's it.
All right.
You're just gonna let it cook.
Yeah, in Haiti, what they do, they put the pasta to cook also in the mixture of what we have with the meat and everything. But by the time everything is cooked well and simmered, the pasta gets a little soggy, and some people do not like that. So one way we think everyone will be satisfied is having the pasta cooked al dente. And now that is going to boil, pasta is going to cook, and after that, mix everything, and church is over.
Is there a wine that you could recommend that we would have with soup, or is soup a meal you don't need wine?
No, soup, if you like wine, I love this. It's a good flavor combination. It's Barbera d'Asti. It's a Vietti. It's a light blend wine. It will kind of like blend it in amazing with those all three amazing soup. And I hope you enjoy it. But you can always choose like a light Pinot Noir, or like a Chianti Classico will go very well with all three soups. But that's my favorite. I chose this Vietti. Very reasonable price, pleasant to to have it with the family and friends.
Now that the pasta has been cooked al dente and the soup is simmering, this is time to add the pasta into the soup. And my helper is going to do it. Wonderful. The operation is almost complete. What's left to do is to add 2 tablespoons of butter. Going to simmer down, and then you can do 2 things. You can serve the soup now on a bowl of all the guests, and the guest will season it at his or her taste. Or you can add seasoning to your own taste and hope that they will please your guests. You serve it with the garlic bread made Mariera. And the marriage between the garlic bread and that soup is just unbelievable. Bon appetito, bon appetit.
Again, if you weren't hungry before, you probably are now. And thank you also, as a side note, to everybody who's donated so far. We really appreciate your support. Before we head over to Denise for a couple words, let's see who was paying attention. We're going to do another poll. Laura's going to help us launch another poll here to see who was paying attention. We got 2 questions, I think, on this one. So go ahead and check out this second poll here.
So yes, when do Haitians always eat soup jamu? I even like saying it. It's like a fun way to say it. And then what ingredients are used in all 3 today's soups? What do you think? Let's see what already in soup 1 and 2. So we'll give everyone a few moments to do that.
And then after you do the poll, everybody can go look to see if they can find some jumu squash in their local markets this week.
All right, give it just a few more seconds here to participate, see what you think. And a couple different responses for each. All right. I'm going to go ahead and end the polls and see what you come up with. So let's take a look at our results here. So when do Haitians always eat soup jamu? The correct answer is January 1st, Independence Day. So some of you said anytime. After watching this, I'm sure anytime would be a wonderful time to have this soup. And I think we're going to get a lot of new traditions here in America that we can celebrate the freedom and liberation with the Haitian people. And this can be one of our New Year's resolutions and soups to enjoy on our new year for January 1st. What ingredients are used in all 3 of today's soups? We have, some of you said meat, but the correct answer is celery, onions, and carrots. So those 3 ingredients were found in all 3 soups today.
Yeah, that was a tricky one. I think Mariella mentioned it as she poured it into the soup this time, but you won't see the 3rd soup yet. So it was a little bit of a tricky one there too. Thank you for working on the poll, Laura, and thank you guys for participating. And then next up, we're going to head over to Denise before we watch our final soup.
Thanks, Rachel. As you heard from both Dr. Mortel and Rachel, we have been able to accomplish a lot during the past 20 years with your help and support. We have successfully built a solid foundation for our students and have expanded our reach to provide programs that impact Haitians of all ages who are in need. So what do the next 20 years look like for the foundation? I'd like to take a few minutes to share with you our vision for the future. We plan to invest in a teacher training and development program so that we can improve the quality of education in our schools. We plan to coordinate the cohesiveness of our programs offered across our educational system so that a child who enters our preschool will be better prepared to perform well, both academically and socially, at our elementary school and our high school. We plan to establish a series of core initiatives for both teachers and students from all of our 3 schools to use to enrich their education. This will include an upgraded computer technology lab, a library, and a science lab. And finally, we plan to develop a technical program that will provide training in various trades to our adult students and help them become self-sufficient and provide for their families. While we have a lot more work to do, the core of our mission remains unchanged. It has always been in the Foundation's DNA to feed and educate the poorest of the poor and ultimately create a new generation of Haitians. 20 years ago, we created our student sponsorship program to help us do this. And today it remains the backbone of our mission. Earlier in the program, Mariella shared with us a picture of a little girl that she sponsors and spoke about the satisfaction she gets from helping out in this way. And so we wanted to offer the same opportunity to you. You can become a student sponsor for only $350 a year. That's less than $1 a day. And your sponsorship will provide 8 key things: free tuition, 2 nutritious daily meals, school supplies, medical care, dental and vision care, character formation. It's an opportunity for you to give back and a chance to change Haiti's future. Each year, we have 90 new preschool students in need of sponsors. Take a look at a few of them here. How cute are they? When you become a sponsor, you will receive your student's picture, the report card, and several greeting cards from your student during the school year. For less than $1 a day, you can change a life. Consider becoming a sponsor today by scanning the code on your screen. Thank you. Now, we'll head back to Mariella's kitchen one last time to learn to prepare one final soup for our families.
Our last soup is Ribalita.
Ribalita, yes, thank you, Cecile. Ribalita, it's kind of like, it means like a reheated ingredients, like a soup. There is a little history there too, like in whole days, like it's called Ribalita because whatever the housewives had leftover from the day before or from this early day, like lunchtime, beans, vegetables, could be kale, spinach, broccoli, celery, carrots, anything, all kinds of beans, lentils, they did have better access to beans, like more likely black beans and the peas, the dry peas, green, which is my favorite. I love the dry peas. So all those vegetables, whatever they had left over, where they will make another soup, another meal for the evening.
I see.
So that's why I call Ribalita, because they would reheat all this kind of like leftover that they had from the day before lunchtime or whatever. So today, my favorite Ribalita, it's you can mix and match whatever beans you like. You can just buy like a ready pre-mixed bag. If you use a dry beans, don't forget to soak them an hour. Just barely cover the beans with water, let it sit for 1 hour, and then you see it, the beans pretty much absorbs all the water. And then for like 1 bag beans, mixed beans, you need a 5 quarts water, dice carrots, onions, celery, pinch like parsley, 2 tablespoons plum tomato, like diced plum tomato, and sea salt and a little bit flakes red peppers again. If you don't want to soak the beans, if you prefer to be a quicker soup, like in 30 minutes instead of like the whole process takes about an hour and a half to cook dry beans, you can always use the cans. Your favorite, again, mix and match, whatever your kids or whatever your family, whatever you like, just buy the cans. It's much, cuts the time in half. anyway.
I see that you have a mixture in the dry beans. You can
Yes.
buy them that way. I didn't know that.
Yeah, you can buy mix up, which that's me. I love it because it kind of like makes like a better soup flavor. It's hearty, like warm and hearty with this weather, of course. And so that's pretty much the ingredients. What do you want to have? Like I said, 5 quarts water. Add all your beans and your vegetables. Let it come to a boil, and then you want to simmer down medium to low and let them cook the beans alone for about an hour and 15 minutes. Because first 15 minutes, 20 minutes takes to come to a boil anyway. So then you medium low for another an hour and 15 minutes. You know, don't forget to stir here and there. And in the meantime, just get yourself whatever your favorite greens, vegetable that you like. Again, it could be spinach, kale, Swiss chard, broccoli, broccoli sprout, whatever you like. And wash them, dice them, which my favorite is the kale anyway. And then you just dice it. I have it ready on the side. I was about 3 cups vegetables, then 2 sauté, seared on the side. And once the soup is ready, we can just add everything together.
Wow, look at that. The vegetables look almost done.
See, they're coming along beautiful.
Very good.
Yep, I will say they're pretty much done. And are you ready for the next step?
That would be great.
So I'm gonna need a sauté pan. And as we talked before, like you can use any vegetables. I like to mix those two, tastes even better. So we're gonna drizzle like about a tablespoon and a half olive oil. Maybe a little bit more. Olive oil is good for you anyway. I think I did mention that we need some garlic for the to saute the greens. So 2 cloves garlic is plenty. Slice, thin slice. Or if you don't like a garlic, Cecile, that's another thing. You can just use the old thing, like don't slice it. Just flavor the olive oil and then remove the garlic. But you will get the flavor in the olive oil anyway. So, but
let's go for the garlic.
I do like it.
Yes,
we
why
do
not?
like it, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm just waiting for that. And again, you want to get nice and gold garlic.
It doesn't take very long.
No, look, see?
Yeah.
It's coming along. And that's it. We want to... And of course, let's not forget pink salt, few flakes of peppers, my favorite.
I like them too.
Not a lot, just enough that it's not gonna taste spicy, but it will give it a nice little kick in there. And then, honestly, it doesn't take a long to cook that dish. Just have a little bit of flavor right with the garlic. It seems like you had a lot of greens. See, it's kind of like using them maybe about a cup. Alright, and this is here now. We can just be ready to add the greens to the soup and let them finish cook together. So we can flavorize our soup. It's not even to flavorize, but look how beautiful the color is.
so
the
good.
green. Who cares if it snows outside or it's freezing? This is gonna make everything feel better.
And again, beans, so healthy. What a healthy meal.
Yes, it is a healthy meal. Give it, I would say, 10 minutes, medium low, to everything blended in and, you know, like to get the flavor all together. There is option. You can, as you wish, whatever you like to have. You can cook pasta, small noodles pasta like orzo, ditalino, pappardelle care, like dice, whatever pasta you like, you can cook it on the side and then add your soup to. Or my favorite thing, it's the famous garlic bread, the Italian garlic bread. Let me show you what to do.
Can we do both?
You can do both. Yes, so that would be an amazing meal then. No, but let's show how to make a garlic bread.
Mariela, one of the things I love most about Manja Manja is your bread.
Thank you.
It's
Thank you.
absolutely amazing. And I understand you make garlic bread a little bit different than most of us who use butter and just garlic.
Yes, it's slightly different. It's whatever you prefer, but that's the old-fashioned way that we know how to make it. You can come into Manja and buy my bread, or you can buy any grocery store your favorite bread. You can use the baguette, you can use the Tuscany bread that do have amazing different selection in any grocery.
But it's usually crusty.
Crusty, yes.
Okay.
So, doesn't matter the shape of your bread. You just want to cut diagonal so you get a nice big pieces. Pretty much kind of like the way you have a nice, not too skinny. I like a little chunky because you want to have kind of when we drizzle olive oil. That's why. So what you want to do? It's garlic bread. Honestly, goes well with any soup, especially the bean soup. I like it because it's kind of like hearty, and we will flavor this. We'll first toast the bread, okay? I don't like to just drizzle olive oil or butter because I feel like it gets very saggy. So what I would suggest, I usually do let's toast the bread first, and then we will just brush it off with olive oil.
I see.
And garlic, raw garlic. I like to have just a little flavor of the garlic in there. And then we can drizzle the olive oil with parsley, salt, and little flakes peppers, which I already had it here done. And see, not even that has a nice color, but has an amazing flavor too. So let's toast the bread first, and then we will move to the next step. Okay, now not too much. You don't want to have it too dark. Just slightly, a little crunch. So what I would do, I would drizzle. And this is again, I like to marinate the olive oil, parsley, flake red peppers, and sea salt. And black pepper, if you prefer to, black pepper is always nice. It gives a nice flavor to it.
But I notice, like red pepper.
I love it. It's good for you. Red pepper is good. So just 1 clove garlic. You want to just kind of rub it in a little bit, give it a nice,
oh yeah.
What a flavor, right? Just slightly, though you don't have to have too much. And then what I do, I just drizzle with olive oil already marinated. Okay, and we will top it off with your favorite cheese. It could be grana padano, could be pecorino, and just
it looks pretty.
On top.
Garlic
Yes.
bread could look pretty.
Awesome.
Very
I love
nice.
just like that. And again, just put it back in the oven and for not more than a minute and a half, just to have the cheese a little crunchy. And that's it. You have an amazing garlic bread ready for any soups or even as an appetizer. It's always good to have that. And as you see, this will be your final look of the garlic bread. And believe me, it tastes amazing. And again, you can just finish it off with a nice fresh ground black pepper. And we're ready to have the soup now.
And now for the best part. Do we get to taste this?
Of course. Are we ready?
I'm there.
Right. So we have, this is the tortellini with chicken.
Let me get a little broth, a little extra.
Yes, please.
Oh, that looks so good.
And it smells good. And you want to just like sprinkle with scalloped onions, just a little bit to add the color. And that's one. And then we're gonna have Dr. Martell soup. Smells good.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, look at this. That's amazing combination of veggie, meat, and pasta.
Humu
Yes.
and pasta.
And may I top it off with our favorite garlic bread?
Oh, that
please?
will make it so great.
Amazing. All right, and the last is the Ribalita. Look, the colors too. It's beautiful.
Oh,
There
wow.
we go. And we will top it off this one with a nice garlic bread. And now, we're ready to taste, and let's toast. Enjoy it. Buon appetito.
Buon
And thank you
appetito.
again.
Bon appetit.
Thank you for joining us this afternoon.
Thank you.
Before you all go, we have a couple other fun little things at the end of this event here. So stick with us for just a couple more minutes. That soup looked delicious too. The garlic bread, by the way, is the best. She called it famous for a reason. But we'll do our last poll right now with 2 more questions to see who was paying attention. And then we just have a few other final things to share with you as well. So Laura, what's going on with the last poll?
So our last poll is, what is Mariella's favorite type of pepper to use? And then what anniversary year did High Hopes for Haiti's first school just celebrate? So what pepper was Mariella's favorite? And what's the anniversary year for the first school? What do you think? So just give you a few moments to answer those questions.
Yeah, we'll see if you were paying attention here. I think she mentioned her favorite pepper a couple times in that one.
You did. And we're getting, wow, you guys are great. You really paid attention. So just give you a few more moments here before we share the answers. All right, so I'm going to close the polls and share our results. So the first answer is the red pepper flakes. Red pepper is her favorite. So she mentioned that a few times. And the first school we're celebrating 20 years, 20 years. So it's been a wonderful journey and we continue to many more years to come.
That's
I'll give
right.
it back
Thank
to you, Rachel.
Thank you, Laura, and thank you, everybody. At 20 years, not 90 yet, like at the beginning. So, but we'll hopefully get to 92. So one other thing, first of all, we thank you so much for having you join us today. We also a huge thank you to Mariella for all that she helped us do for this event and all that she helps us do in general. We would love to have you join us for our next event in April. We're working out some of the details still, but it is April 2nd in Hershey. So save the date for that, and please join us for our spring soiree and evening among the stars. Hopefully this COVID stuff will settle down and we'll be able to be together in April instead of on Zoom like we are today, but we'd love to have you for that. And then our final bonus raffle winner, if you've stuck with us this long, which most of you have, which is amazing, the bonus raffle winner is Patsy Norton. Way to go, Patsy. Patsy's another great supporter of Haiti and actually works with another Haitian organization as well. So super glad you could join us, Patsy, and congrats on being our bonus raffle winner here, sticking with us to the end. So we'll be in touch with you too to get you your winnings. Thank you again to you all, and stick around just a couple more minutes. We'll have Dr. Mortel for some closing remarks. Dr. Mortel, it's all yours.
Okay, thank you again, Rachel. We have shared with you some of our favorite soups. We hope you enjoy this cooking session and decide to try some of these simple recipes. With this program, we wanted also to raise awareness about the mission of the Motel High Hopes for Haiti Foundation that of feeding and educating the poor children in Haiti. My friends, the data are not only alarming, but breathtaking. In a population of 10 million people, 20% of children die before the 5th birthday. And 75% of the survivors cannot attend school and face starvation. You know one of them. He was rescued by a benefactor who assisted financially his illiterate parents for his education. This is the target population for the foundation. So, if you are called to assist one of these children, please join us as we are determined to fight children illiteracy and starvation in Haiti. On this note, I would like to thank you again for participating in this program and wish you a wonderful evening. Thank you.
Thank you all again. We'll stick around in the chat for a few more minutes, but that's the end of our event for today. And feel free to donate if you haven't had a chance to. And again, thank you. We're super excited you all joined us and hope you enjoy the soups as well.